Yeah, the anger management course is going really, really well. I'm so happy these days. I've been kind and respectful to everybody. What's that? Yeah, I'll be absolutely fine, just as long as I don't hear anything stupid.
Today I'm going to look at some of the magical moments from space.
Oh, well, dear viewer, I think that's my New Year's resolution gone for a Burton. Bugger. Oh well, on with the video. Please like, share, subscribe. That would be fantastic. Please come and join me on Patreon. Sven Bellens did, Bob Sadler did, Alan L did, and, for just £3 a month, you could be a Patreon too. And for the same price, I think, you could also become a channel member. How cool is that? Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, that's that out of the way. What else? Happy New Year to everybody, and I do hope you had a great Christmas. I wasn't very well in the early part of this week, so thank you everybody for your messages of get well soon and hurry back and everything. And finally, I was on in the early hours of New Year's Day. I was on a channel called God TV Radio Show, run by a guy called Brett Keane. Now, we've had some not very pleasant interactions with each other in the comment section of some of my videos, and I was expecting a dumpster fire, but it didn't turn out that way. We had a very cordial and respectful chat. So if you want, go and pop over to his channel and give it a watch. My ugly mug is on the thumbnail. And that's pretty much it, actually, apart from today's video, where we look at Level Earth Observer, or, as I like to call him, Flat Earth Observer.
Today I'm going to look at some of the magical moments from space from the past 12 months. Let's have a look.
Hands up, everybody who's missed his patronising tone.
First up, my old mate Victor is joined by Dr. Kate Rubins. Dr. Kate is the star of this clip, as essentially she gets her cable of her microphone get caught up in the cable of her harness.
But she's not wearing a harness, and if she was, why isn't the cable catching a harness right now? I'm getting angry, because you're talking crap.
We all know they use special effects to phase out the cables that come from their harnesses, of course to give the impression they're in a weightless environment, but in this instance, Dr. Kate exposes that technique by getting her cable of her microphone get caught up in seemingly nothing.
So, if they are both wearing harnesses, both the lady in front and the gentleman behind, if they're both wearing harnesses and it's being filmed on Earth, why are they not vertical? You only have to look at a parachutist, for instance. He jumps out of a plane, pulls his cord, cables attached to the parachute, his harness, etc., etc., and he comes down like that. He doesn't come down at an angle, does he? Something for you to ponder, Mr. Flat Earth Observer.
Of course, when we view the footage, knowing the types of the techniques they use, and of course applying a bit of common sense and logic.
But the words common sense and logic don't appear in any Flat Earther's vocabulary, do they, Mr. Flat Earth Observer?
So let's have a look at Dr. Kate here at the bottom, get her cable of her microphone, get caught up in the cable of her harness, which, as I've said before, has been phased out using special effects.
And of course, being a Flat Earth Observer, you have absolutely no evidence whatsoever to back you up, have you?
They can phase out the harness, but they can't phase out the boo-boo made by Dr. Kate. It's at this point that Dr. Kate realises she's caught up, desperately tries to unhitch it. Now watch, pay particular attention here. See it? Caught on seemingly nothing. And again, look at the state of that.
But if she's wearing a harness, Mr. Flat Earth Observer, why didn't her hand get caught on the harness as well? You've got to do better than this, Mr. Flat Earth Observer.
Finally she gets it free. Look at Dr. Kate's face here.
But you see the loop, it goes right behind her. So why isn't the loop getting caught on her harness?
She knows she blew that. And now look at Victor. Watch $1 million smile be reduced to nothing. Oops.
Well, what do you expect him to do, Mr. Flat Earth Observer? Do you expect him to still keep smiling like he's in a toothpaste advert? And she's still smiling. And she's the one that made the alleged mistake. Oops.
And again, it's come back. Now look at this point here. It's caught on seemingly nothing. Now that's where the cable's going up, obviously from Kate's back, from various different points, but it's obviously got caught on this one point here. So watch. Look at how silly that looks. Look at it. Ridiculous. And once more before we continue. Carry on even. Look at the state of that. Terrible stuff.
Well, Mr. Flat Earth Observer, I'm going to destroy that particular piece of evidence that you just provided by asking two very simple questions. 1. Why is that cable floating? And 2, does that cable have a harness as well? Oops!
Next we get to see the first ever victims of space debris caught on film.
Oh, for God's sake, not this old chestnut. Oh dear, I knew it'd rear its ugly head one day. They're not victims, are they, Mr. Flat Earth Observer? They would have been if it had actually crashed into the capsule, but they're not. My anger management courses are failing me.
And ironically, it turns out to be the space industry itself.
I think you should look up the meaning of the word ironic.
Essentially, we get to see CGI space debris go straight through SpaceX's Dragon capsule. And of course, in doing so, exposing the ISS, SpaceX, space, and of course the globe.
Exposing the globe? How? Exactly.
So let's have a look. We'll play it in normal speed and then slow it right down.
Yep, everything seems fine to me. What's wrong with that? I'm sure you're going to tell us though, Mr. Flat Earth Observer.
Normal speed. I'm going to slow it right down for you now. Now, obviously the space debris is going to be coming from top right corner, behind the words of the sun, and going through and ending up bottom left corner, and actually going straight through SpaceX's Dragon capsule.
Flies straight through, does it? So we see it going into the capsule, and then we see it coming out of the capsule. So where's the twisty metal as it comes out of the capsule? Oops!
But you'll see it top right as it enters our screen, under the words the sun, the interaction between the internal parts here of SpaceX's Dragon capsule is terrible, and of course it glitches out there, and then of course when it gets to bottom left it actually goes straight through the craft, thus exposing this silly charade for being just that. So let's have a look.
So you're going to go through it frame by frame and forensically examine every single frame, aren't you, Mr. Flat Earth Observer?
Watch it come in top right, the interaction. Terrible, glitching out just here, shows through.
Glitching out? You mean you can actually see the debris through the gaps in what looks like cables or pipes? Oops!
And then of course as it comes through and literally bottom left goes straight through Elon Musk's craft. Straight through it. Get ready. Look at that. Straight through it. Half out, half in. Obviously no dents, nothing.
I'm trying hard to remain calm, but it's very, very difficult when people like this come out with something stupid like that.
Thus proving these clowns are using CGI. We know it is so obvious at this point in time.
No, it isn't.
But this is your first victims of space debris. And it turns out it's the space industry itself being exposed by CGI. You can't make this stuff up.
Why not? You do.
And then we come to this weird clip, which has got our mate at the front left here clearly uncomfortable in his harness, as we're about to see.
No, Mr. Body Language Expert, he is just weightless. It's a bit like being in a body of water. You're buoyant. The water is supporting you, so your arms are floating. You get out of the water and you let them fall naturally, and they fall naturally by your side. But in a weightless environment, where your arms going to go? They're just going to go wherever you put them. So if you put them there, they're just going to stay there. And that's it. What a wilf.
But he's not the star here. The star of this is See-Through Headman, who's directly behind him.
See-Through Headman. I'm just not going to bother.
Let's just watch the clip normal, and then we'll zoom in and expose See-Through, or get See-Through Headman to expose this silly charade.
Oh, See-Through Headman. Oh, for bleep's sake.
So let's have a look. All we're interested in here, front left, how uncomfortable our mate is in his harness.
Houston, we are ready for the event. Houston, Huntsville, Moscow, Scuba, and...
Can't be much fun hanging about like that, trying to pretend that you're in a spaceship orbiting something that's scientifically impossible. Really can't, and clearly is not comfortable. But anyway, let's get to my pal See-Through Headman.
Mr. Flat Earth Observer, you're not very observant, are you? Check this out. Why is that lady's hair not going down her back? Why does it appear to be floating? Oops!
Bear with me. And now we come to my mate See-Through Headman. As you can see, behind our friend in the centre of the screen, you can see See-Through Headman's head is transparent, i.e. you can see straight through it.
He's out of focus. Stop trying to make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
So I'll play this clip on loop. It's only a short clip. Like I say, pay particular attention to our friend here on the left as his head becomes transparent, just like it is on screen right now. The clip's short and it's on loop. But just like I said, matey boy's head is transparent. How obvious do these people need to make it?
Well, Mr. Flat Earth Observer, you would think that the people who are allegedly faking that sort of stuff would pay particular attention to the background now, wouldn't you?
Here he comes. It'll reset itself. Get ready. He comes. 3, 2, 1. He comes behind his mate. And his head is transparent. Look. Ridiculous. Once more. His head is transparent. Ridiculous.
Oh, he's not in focus. How many more times? I'm about to snap with you. I really am. Right. Here's a little experiment for you that even you can do, Mr. Flat Earth Observer. Right. I've got a ring light at the back of my monitor here. So I'm going to put my finger up and I'm going to focus on my finger. I can still see the light behind it, but my finger's blocking out part of the light. Now, if I focus on the light, I can see the light through my finger. Wow, what does that prove? My finger is CGI. Right, I think I'm done now with Flat Earth Pratt and his ludicrous bull bleep. And we're going to leave the rest of that video for another time because there's even more stupid to come. So that's Flat Earth Observer all done, dusted and delivered. Please join me in the next one, which will be this Wednesday for a Wacky Wednesday video, 8 PM GMT. And come and join me on Patreon or become a channel member or just like, share and subscribe. That would be amazing too. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon.